in this situation, my boyfriend of 3 months is low-key teaming up with his friends and they act as if I'm not even in the room. This doesn't happen often. He's a really nice guy, 38 years old, but this is just such a weird thing. Why? Of course, that's exactly where we want to go first, is why does he do this? Why is it this way? Why am I still here? What other options do we have to kind of power through this not being treated like a doormat, not being treated like an option, not just being here? And is the answer more than just circular date?
Well, that particular situation that you remarked is, why were you in the room? Why did you care?
Oh,
He was with his guys. Why were you in the room? If a guy did this every single day and left you out of his life, well, I would just say goodbye to that guy. That doesn't work. But if he's a great guy and he has his friends every once in a while and then he doesn't even talk to you, don't go anymore. That's like me walking into a rehearsal that my husband has with his band and looking for attention. Not going to happen. I mean, got the situation wrong there. I mean, guy does this all the time. Then that's a signal. And you say to him, I noticed that having this great time with all these people. And I love that about you, that you have all these wonderful friends. I feel very left out and I feel kind of sad and I don't feel like I have enough time with you. Is there any way we can work that through? And see what the heck he says. He says, well, what is it you want? You say, well, I would like a date night every Saturday. I would like us to be home watching TV every 3 nights a week. That's not true. I just heard that in my own heart. You don't want that kind of guy who's got that kind of life. You want a guy who's just home with you all the time. Is that true? You have to actually know what it is you want instead of trying to transform some guy just because he seems to like you. Or if you are feeling the pressure of like I did, like biological clock, I take any guy who wanted to be my husband and had enough money to take care of at least himself and was willing to have kids. Would I take anybody? I don't know. I met my husband, he was awesome, but it took me a while to accept him because he wasn't my type, right? But when is it not workable? A guy who travels for work. A lot of women like being alone and having a guy come, 2 weeks or something. Pilots aren't home all the time, right? If you like that, perfect. If you want a guy just there every morning, every night, you just want to hang out and laugh, and you're at a stage in your life, maybe not that young, but you just want to have a quiet, cozy marriage, that guy's not what you want. He's a social butterfly. That's not something you necessarily negotiate. You'd be in pain. Where are you? Where is he? We're acting like there's only one guy for us. He showed up and you'd have to make do. Well, you might be able to do that. You knocked out. But what if I hadn't? Would I have just picked any guy? I didn't have the financial, to raise a kid on my own, but I knew that's what I wanted more than anything in the whole world. I thought about living with my parents and doing, eggs. I really thought about all that. And met Jeffrey. And I still tried to push him away. I still tried to push him away. My instinct said, no, not my type. No, real guy really wants me, really loves me. I can't handle that, was my inner voice. And finally, I just overcame. I said, wait a minute. Why am I making all these judgments? So once you stop, yourself when you are pushing men away and ask yourself, why am I pushing him away? 9 times out of 10, it's going to be because you say you want love, but you're actually quite afraid of it. Like this. This fear of intimacy is ours, and we need to own that. And that is why we choose icky men, wrong men all the time, sexy men all the time, not what we say we want. Yeah, you want great sex, but that's not the only thing you want. And it's certainly not the only big ticket you want. I know there's not a single woman I ever met who does not want to feel safe inside a relationship. Safe. I'm not going to be cheated on. I'm going to be safe. I feel secure. I can go to my grave with you if I so choose. And those true blue men can be very boring to us. We're so used to TV guys and, kind of a guy. Don't go there. Yourself. Do I want what I say I want? Am I going to push it away because he's a little boring? Or am I going to invest?
That's great. Now, okay. Other one along, like we got a whole bunch of letters that were
Well,
very
let's just go over all
similar.
these then.
So this one is you've got a guy who kind of in like stop stall sort of place.
Oh
Like
gosh.
he at first he was all like, "Oh yes, when we get married, when we have our house." But now he's all like, "Well, if things go well." And this is just really burning her up. Like would for all of us. You don't want if it goes well, then we get to move into your tiny apartment. I don't want if that goes well, then we'll dot dot dot. How do we power how do I like we like that door down and like level with a man.
Awesome. And anybody not have that experience? I would make that a big zero. We've all been through that. Guy comes on strong, it's great, and then all of a sudden it's like, pulls out pictures of his ex-girlfriend. I'm like, stuff. So this is where circular dating is so crucial. I really want you to lean into this. Circular dating is sanity building. It's protection. It is you. It is, I will not give my full heart of commitment, of all the security to you, giving you everything I want of security and all that to you when it is not being given to me. I'm going to lead with that. No, what you always are open to is love. You are always loving and you're always giving love and you're always have an open heart and you're always appreciating people and you're not asking why and weaponizing. You are simply there for a man when he's there with you. And you are not going to be led down to the place where, oh, I'm considering myself almost married to him, except he hasn't asked me to marry him and he seems to be walking away from this. So this is where you say to him, where you feel it enough, you start doing the modern siren combo where you do warmth and distance. You don't give up the open and warmth and love, and you don't let it become anger at him. Yeah, it's going to be anger, but you don't let it become passive aggression, weaponized. Why? I'm really pissed at you because you're not marrying me right now. That's going on in you. So you have to be very aware of that because the more you tinge your vibe with that angry, disappointed, complaint feeling, the more you're just going to push them away. And you don't want that, right? You want the opposite. So you have to be very aware of what's really going on with you. And you have to be really honest. And you have to say, hi, honey, I just really noticed that I'm feeling kind of down. What do you mean? I'm feeling a little down. I'm feeling a little sad. I'm feeling a little anxious. Why? I felt that I had too many expectations that this relationship was going somewhere, and now I'm not feeling so sure. So can you help me with that? He'll go, well, I say, what are you thinking right now for what we're gonna go? And he'll go, well, and you lean way back. Now see the words I'm using, I'm not saying, why aren't you doing this? I'm not doing that. I'm just saying I really need to know for my mental health, and assuming that he's a good guy, he's going to care about my mental health, right? So let him help. Well, maybe next year, I I don't know what I'm doing. I need to do that. I know people where a man you hadn't really ever lived outside of a roommate situation and said he just needed to live alone before he could get married. And he did that. So she waited. She let him move into an apartment. They continued to date, and they've been happily married for years and years and years of the family. He was a good guy, and it worked out. But that took a long time of a certain amount of patience from her. And she needed to have a life outside of him in order to make that work. And their dating needed to be very sustained, 3, 4 days a week, weekends together, seriously, and then he felt like he had a home. That's all he needed. Your situation may not be that simple and lovely and work out. He may just really be confused and not know what he wants. He may not be madly in love with you because the relationship has gone on for 9, 10 months already, and the love thing may have moved into now this partnership and engendered more fear in him. Who knows what happens? This is where you say, I don't know how to make my self feel better. And he says, I don't know how to help you feel better. You're just gonna have to deal with it. Get a therapist. You say, okay. And your answer is to become more social immediately. Use the rules that you use in early dating, which is you don't just assume you have a weekend with him. You say you make plans with girlfriends, make plans at meetings, become politically active, do ups, take painting classes, be social, get out, take yourself to dinner, feel sad, and allow some guy to take you to coffee. Allow some guy to take you out for a coffee date. A tough conversation with a guy in the market. Trust me, when you are feeling taken by a man, other men are going to be interested in you. It's going to be very easy for conversations to happen when you feel like you have a relationship or a marriage that's, some difficulty at that time. This is where circular dating is so crucial. So you want to start with being more social. And as you become comfortable with that and can live with that, if he doesn't, he's probably sensed it and has come closer already. 9 times out of 10, if you can become more social and at ease and you stop feeling anxious a little bit, you feel more sane, you feel more centered, you feel more okay with yourself, he's going to pick that up on your vibe that you're no longer, come on, come on, come on. You're no longer trying to get him. He may have already come closer. If not, this is the moment when you just accept a date with somebody else, period. Just do that first before you talk to him. Just accept a coffee date, accept to the museum with somebody who would like that. Something will show up. A friend, a male friend, not a girlfriend, a male friend, totally platonic, and do that and see what it feels like. First of all, it's going to feel like you're cheating. Second, it's going to feel terrible. You're going to feel sad. You're going to cry. But you've done it and you also feel like you're capable of that. And if it gets bad, you just say to your guy, I love you. I just want to be with you. And I can tell that it's, all kinds of, I don't want to push. I don't want to push. I don't want to put pressure on you. So I'm just going to step back a little bit and I'm going to start opening up to dating other guys. He's going to say, how dare you? What do you mean? I'm your boyfriend. You say, I think I actually, at my age or where I am in my life, I need a little more concrete about where we're going, a little more about your intentions and where we're going in order to feel solid. So we can just go back to when we were dating. That's hard, yes, but I just told you all the steps. If you know that you have this in your toolbox, that you can do this just by being social first, that it will help you psychologically. Go to church more, meet guys there, go to those wonderful churches where people are jumping up and down. People will talk to you everywhere. And be more open and more conversations and more loving and more open and more willing. Things will shift. He may turn out to be Mr. Wrong, and you just are going to slowly now move into dating again. He may turn out to be Mr. Right. All he needed was to know that you weren't desperate. And all you needed to know was you're not desperate. You have options. The only way we could ever feel good is that we have options. Something goes wrong, we have an option. We didn't get the job we wanted. We didn't get the promotion. We have options. There are other people out there who would hire us. Yeah, wants to start from scratch. That's why you want to start with circular dating so that you can get used to it and start to feel empowered. And I just promise you, when you stand in front of him after a couple of weeks of doing that, your energy will be different. Your vibe will be different. You won't be as angry. You'll feel prepared. You'll feel like you have options. You will show up differently, and he will notice that. And when he notices it, things will shift. And you will have the power to use different kinds of words with him. Like, you don't have a date for Saturday night. I'm going to do something else. I need a schedule. I need to know when I'm going to see you. I need to know when I'm going to see you, otherwise I'm going to feel very uncomfortable. Oh. These are simple things that you can work your way into. Does that help?